Welcome back to 52 Lockup. I am your Appletini of Cadma, of Bitten Apple TV. 52 Lockup is a series I started to talk about one of my biggest passions, true crime. A new episode in every Cadmaniac Monday, so we're talking 52 Mondays, 52 crimes. Hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to like, leave some feedback, subscribe. Of course, we all know the drill. Viewer discretion is always advised. I mean, it is true crime. But let's go with this. You're a college student. You have goals. You have things to do. And a life you are preparing to embark on. You ride the local bus. You hop on it, right? And you're in the bus of Indiana State, right? You're in a city. You do not interact with anyone. You're probably on your phone, looking at homework, a list of tasks, people you do like and love. It's now around 4:45 p.m. on Wednesday. And you're getting up to exit the bus on 4th Street in downtown Bloomington, Indiana, which is about several blocks, from your campus, Indiana University campus, where you were headed. And then abruptly, your city ride takes a very dark turn when 56-year-old Billie Davis pulls out a knife and just continues to stab you in your head based on the color of your skin. Well, that's what happened with 18-year-old Asian American student. Her name will not be disclosed. So Billie Davis would strike the student multiple times in the head. The attacker would actually exit the bus, ditch the knife, and then just walk away. Another passenger who actually witnessed the attack would actually follow the attacker so they can call the cops and give them location, names, and descriptions. Upon arrival, police officers would find the victim bleeding from their head, right? So she's sent to the hospital, and according to the police statements, that's when they realized once the victim's wounds had been cleaned at the hospital, they realized that these were multiple stab wounds in their head. Bus surveillance would actually even reveal that there was no interaction. They didn't talk to each other before. There was nothing happening. It just simply showed Davis getting up from a nearby seat and then literally choosing violence. Billie Davis was initially taken to Monroe County Jail, but was recently a couple of charges were updated, with attempted murder, aggravated battery, and battery by means of a deadly weapon on January 11, 2023. The suspect would proudly explain that she was motivated for this attack on this 18-year-old girl because of her ethnic background. She informs law enforcement that she attacked the student because she was Chinese. And according to her, it would be one less person to blow up our country. City and university officials have condemned these kinds of hate crimes attacks, right? Which have now risen higher due to the reported harassment and attacks against Asian Americans in the pandemic of COVID-19. A study from the Center to the Study of Hate and Extremism at California State University, San Bernardino, would actually say about 2021, the rise of crime, just the first quarter, rose up to 164%. I mean, we're talking about shootings, assaults, death. I mean, no one should face harassment or violence due to their ethnicity, heritage, their sexuality. I don't care. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting heated. Bloomington Mayor John Hamilton condemned the attack, saying in a statement, "We stand with the Asian community and all who feel threatened by the event following the brutal attack of a member of our community. I want to state categorically that here in the city of Bloomington, we deplore any form of racism and discrimination, especially hate-based violence. This behavior is not acceptable and will be dealt with accordingly." Hamilton said. He also said, "Bloomington is a relatively safe place, but we are not immune to issues with which our entire nation is dealing. This senseless incident is a reminder that we should all look out for each other, be aware of our surroundings, and seek to combat racism and prejudice in all of its forms, wherever and whenever we encounter it." Bloomington is a college city, southwest of Indianapolis. It's right there, not too far. But about 10% of the city's population identifies as Asian. It's a problem. Someone might want to focus and say, this is because of the pandemic, blah, blah, blah. But hate crimes against Asians have been happening. This isn't something new. 2016, 18-year-old student was attacked with a hatchet. who wanted to ethnically cleanse in Nashville, Indiana. 1999, a graduate student was shot to death outside of a church by a self-proclaimed white supremacist. One of the concerns that people have is that Billie Davis, they're trying to figure out if she's going to be charged with hate crimes. Now, it's a little unclear, only due to the reason that Indiana is one of the 5 states in the U.S. To not, I guess, have the dynamic that we have for a hate crime law in the way that we're used to seeing it in the other 45 states. In 2019, the Indiana State Senate would actually vote to amend a hate crime proposal that would be scrapping all of the protected characteristics like someone's gender, race, sexual orientation. The bill went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now it's kind of like set up with an add-on to allow judges to consider more of a biased sentencing for any aggravated circumstances when weighing a stricter sentence for a crime. 2019 is like the first hurdle that this particular bill would actually come through, which is Senate 12 for Indiana. This crime, why? Sure, they got arrested. We got the bad guy, but in the population in that town is 10% Asian. That is terrifying to know that even you as a student, young, healthy student, embarking in on your life, doing what you want to do and accomplish, you are attacked when your back is turned, when you're exiting a bus. That is a scary thought. That is a scary situation. And I don't know who the person was that followed them off of the bus, but like props to this particular person who actually got off the bus and followed this person just to give their information to the cops. I mean, because who knows what could have happened? Who knows if they would have decided, well, I'm going to go attack another person. Why are you carrying around a knife like that? Like, it's not for your protection because you're obviously seeking out to cause harm. And my frustration is it's easier. It is so much easier in life to leave people the fuck alone. Now, I can understand if someone's harming another, then all right, I get it. You might want to get a little involved. I get it. However, if you dislike someone because of the color of their skin, the features of their face, you don't like their hair, you don't like how they're dressed, you think they're gay, or because they're drag queens reading to kids, which beats better than having a school teacher, who's straight, feeding students their husband's semen and cupcakes. It takes like 2 seconds. Actually, I don't even think it takes that long. I think it's like a nanosecond that it takes. Like, let me give you. I'm gonna act this out. Hold on one second. Hear me out. It sounds like a wild theory. You're walking by, right, and then you're like, oh, that's someone I dislike. I dislike them because, and whatever the fucking reason is, you can go, gee, I have option A, bother them. B, walk away. What could happen if I bother them? If I bother them, I am forcing myself to interact with an individual that I genuinely don't like or get along with because I hate their face or their race or how they pray, whatever it is, right? You have your reasons there. So you're subjecting yourself to interact with an individual that you genuinely do not like, and this branches out further to, oh, I can end up in jail. This can end up here. Like, there's so many things that could go wrong. But option B, hear me out. I know it sounds fancy. It sounds crazy, cray. But hear me out. Option B, you see someone that you don't like, and then you just do this. Watch. It looks difficult. Hold on. Watch. Did you see that? Do you guys need me to do it again? Hold on one second. I can do it again. Right? I see them, and I go, like, I can do it in slow motion if you want. Like, leave people the fuck alone. Yes, I know there's going to be points out of like mental illness, which is a lot of the questions that I have. Was she struggling with a mental illness? Did the mental illness amplify what she's always wanted to do to another individual? Has she done this before? I want to know this woman's record. She is 56 years old. She knows better. It's maddening that you can walk around and at any given circumstance just be genuinely attacked. Just because of how you look, how you pray. Someone doesn't like your eyes, your lips, your skin color, you have a tattoo. Like, there's so many dumb reasons to dislike a person, and then engage about it, right? Because you again, you have that option to just leave them alone. Sure, you have your right to dislike someone, whatever. You want to be prejudiced, whatever. But you don't have to act upon it. It's very, very simple. I have come across people that I don't like because of things that they've done, right? I dislike people for certain reason. Maybe they've crossed me, they've done something intentionally to cause harm. And even with those individuals, I walk away. I have no interest in ruining my fucking day to go interact with someone that I don't like. If I do not get along with someone, I walk away. And even under the circumstances, let's say like it's someone that I work with who's very combative and very problematic, and I have to interact with this person. I minimize the interactions to as little as possible, and I keep it strictly work-related. You're not going to catch me calling and trying to like gossip about them to like 5,000 people. I'm not going to call up this. Because you know why? Because they're irrelevant to what's happening with me. Has nothing with how I pay my bills. It's not how I get to enjoy my favorite dinner meal. They have nothing to do with it. The same thing for the person who's walking by, right? They're walking by me and they're like, oh man, I don't like this person. And for whatever reason, maybe I don't like their vibe. I don't care. You know what I don't do? I don't go and I don't attack people. I don't harass people. I don't feel the need to even be extra sassy. Now, if you cross me, that's a different story because you're giving me reason, but I will not do anything unprovoked. I always have to be provoked. And I feel like that should be a common rule for everyone. You have to be provoked. It's such a sad story because you see all these Asian hate crimes just increasing. And I'm not excluding him, right? There's other hate crimes happening, whether you're talking about Kanye West with the Jewish community, if you're talking about what happens when someone hates the Black community, it's all there, right? But like these crimes are so ridiculous. Like it's almost like you can't help but to go, but we're in 2023. And then when you really sit there and you do the math, you start to look around, you're like doing a couple of calculations. You realize that all the rights that people of color or anything that they've ever had to deal with in regards to like something like this as a white supremacist or whatever the case may be, it hasn't been that long. I know they show the photos like in black and white, like that was years ago, but like literally any discriminations that a person has dealt with, a lot of the changes started to happen around the 60s, or women getting rights to have a credit card in these 70s. The same people who were resisting against those things are very much alive. Like a 56-year-old woman who chooses, say that girl is Chinese, I'm going to attack her. And the confidence of it, right? Because this is what I'm picturing, right? The community is already at 10% of that particular Bloomington. And the confidence of, no one's going to say anything to me, no one's going to stop me. Which is heart-wrenching. To feel like I can do whatever I want to another person without repercussions. That is ridiculous. That is utterly ridiculous. Just, if you see something, say something. If you have a moment to make a difference in someone's life. God forbid what would have happened if, as she attacked this 18-year-old, maybe when the 18-year-old got off the bus, maybe this woman wouldn't have stopped if it wasn't for the person following them. Maybe it would have taken longer for them to get caught. Maybe they would still be out there looking for more people to attack. It's just, senseless crimes just piss me off. They just really do. I would love to know your feedback. I want to know, did you see about this case? Did you hear about this case? Are you following it? What are the other crimes that you've noticed that you I guess you would like me to cover and like discuss and talk about, because these things do need to be discussed. You think of the shooting that happened in Atlanta in the spa. You think of someone who gets beat out, or the last case that I followed, a little Filipino old lady just beaten in the lobby of her apartment building. Like, and what bothers me is that people who are like this look for people that they think are not willing to fight back, or they do sneaky shit and they go behind someone's back. Is it possible? Is it just wrong that I would like to put all these people who like have these issues, like, I'm prejudiced, I hate those people, like, it's fine. Can we just put you all on an island by yourselves? I'm fine with it. Just pick a random island, I don't care. And just put them all there. Just all there. They're just not allowed to have weapons. That's all I'm saying. Not allowed to have weapons. It's a one-way ticket. You get to go to your island. You get to look at all the people you'd like to look at. It'll be great. It'll be amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think it'll be a great thing. But yeah, this story is just another heartbreaking moment. And the sad part is there's going to be another one. Until we find a way that people are going to stop doing these things, stop attacking someone. I don't care about, like, the pandemic. That's your heightened reason. I mean, hate crimes against Asians have been happening for quite some time. And I mean, like, ever since, they had them working on the railroads, things like that. But it's not new, and it's heartbreaking to know that it's just going to continue until we start to make the changes that we need to make over time. I want to know, what are the changes you think could be implemented over in Bloomington that maybe, Hamilton should listen to and think, okay, maybe this will benefit people in regards to security. How do you support the community? How do you support all communities without them feeling violated? I mean, I can even tell you, just myself as a person of color, whenever I go anywhere, I look for any person of color in case if I feel outnumbered. I'm just like, hey, Indian, hey, Chinese, hey, Latino, hey, Black, hey. Like, I'm trying to be like, and we all count. So people of color may not always tell you this, but we count each other when we're in public. We do. We will count each other and just play 5. Any of us go missing, you look out. And it's just an instinctual thing. And it's a sad instinct that we should not need. I'm sorry. I'm getting so worked up because I'm just like, it's so frustrating to see these things happen. But really, I would love your feedback about this. And as always, stay safe and stay vigilant.